भवतु सह नौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं भाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ इत्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ॐ इति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम्। So now we go to page 354. Says Nyaya Nirnaya Tadevam Ved. So before we go to that, we just have a little quick look at the earlier sutras in that in this section. We are in the second chapter, Prathama Padaha, first quarter, and fourth sutra. The first sutra in this section was, if you look at this, on page 345, Smriti Anavakasha Dosha Prasanga iti ched na Anya Smriti Anavakasha Dosha Prasangat. Smriti Anavakasha Dosha Prasanga. Avakash means a scope. Smriti Anavakasha Dosha Prasanga. The Smriti, such as the Sankhya is here called Smriti, will be left without any scope. Meaning that whatever Sankhyas have thought about will be redundant. If you accept the Maharshi Pranita Pradhana Karanavada Smritinam Anavakasha Rupa Dosha Prasangat Samanvayo Virudhyate. So the first adhyaya of Brahma Sutra is called Samanvaya Adhyaya, where it is established that Samanvaya, the Tatparya, the purport of all the Upanishads is in Brahma. This is called Brahma Sutra. Brahma is the subject matter of all the Upanishads, and that is called Samanvaya, that all the Upanishads consistently only delineate Brahman, which is the subject matter. So that whole Samanvaya that the Upanishads have, that Tatparya or purport in Brahma, that Samanvaya or consistency then becomes the subject matter of the whole quarter here. That Samanvaya becomes the Vishaya, the subject matter. That if you say that Upanishads only reveal Brahma, alright, accept it. So first thing is, what do the Upanishads talk about? What is the subject matter of Upanishads? Is it Jiva? Is it Brahma? Is it what? So the first chapter established that Brahma is the subject matter of all the Upanishads. If Brahman is the truth, is Jagat Karam the cause of creation, is one without a second the only reality. So this is what the first chapter established. If this is so, then what about the other thinkers or philosophers like Sankhyas, who say that Pradhanam is Jagat Karanam, that Purusha is the Bhokta, Pradhana or Prakriti is Kartri? What about them? They will be all proven wrong, meaning that all that's what the Sankhyas talk about will be all wrong, meaning that will have no scope at all, will become redundant. And that's not right. It is not right that what the Upanishads say completely dismiss what other thinkers have said, like the Sankhyas, like the Vaisheshikas. See, the Purva Paksha is like that. Smriti Anavakasha Dosha Prasanga. That if all the Upanishads have their purport in Brahma, then Maharshi Pranita Pradhana Karanavada Smritinam, then Maharshi like Kapila, who say that Pradhanam is Jagat Karanam, or Kanada, who says that the Paramanu is Jagat Karanam, Anavakasha Dosha, that they will become, Avakasha means the scope, Anavakasha, they will become without scope, they will become redundant. That's not right. Therefore, your Samanvaya, that your contention that Brahman is, so even though, now what the Upanishads say is accepted as Brahman, but whether what Upanishads say is right or not, first thing is, what do the Upanishads teach? Upanishads teach that Brahman is Jagat Karanam, is self of the Jagat, is only the reality. But who says that is right? Because the Sankhyas say differently, the Vaisheshikas say differently, the Bauddhas say something else. Then how do you say that what the Upanishads say is right? So first chapter is Shravanam, to ascertain the purport or Tatparya of all the Upanishads, which is Brahman. Second is taking that Tatparya now and comparing it with what the other thinkers say. And they say things differently. Then what is right? Are Upanishads right or are they right? It's called Mananam. So now we have to apply the reasoning to establish that what the Upanishads say is right. So the Purva Paksha is Smriti Anavakasha Dosha Prasanga iti. If all the Upanishads have their purport in Brahma, then other Smritis, Sankhya, Vaisheshika, they will remain without any scope. Iti chet. And therefore, Brahman cannot be Jagat Karanam. Says, no, our answer is that is not so because Anya Smriti Anavakasha Dosha Prasangat. If you accept Sankhya view, then that will contradict other view. See, different views are there, but they are not consistent. Sankhya, let us say that Pradhanam is Jagat Karanam, but Manusmriti says Brahman is Jagat Karanam. So we don't mind accepting Sankhya except that it will make other Smriti without scope. Therefore, what the Sankhya say cannot be right. If what they say is right, then others also would have said the same thing. So if it is argued that from the acceptance of Brahman as a cause of the universe, that is where the Samanvaya is, arises a defect of the Sankhya, Smriti is being left without any scope, then argument is that that's not so because otherwise will arise the defect of other Smritis like Manusmriti etc. without scope. So therefore, that Brahman is Jagat Karanam is not accepted as Sankhya is not adequate to dismiss this view because there are others who accept, like Manu and others who accept Brahman as Jagat Karanam. That's the first sutra. Then go to the second sutra. The page 351. इतरेषां च अनुपलब्धेः इतरेषां सांख्यस्मृति प्रसिद्धानां इतरेषां महदादितत्वानां अनुपलब्धेश्च. Sankhyas talk about pradhanam. From there say that the first entity that is created or that manifests is Mahat, then Ahankara. So, Itaresham Anupalabdha, this Mahat Tattva, which the Sankhya's talk about, we do not find them anywhere in the Upanishads, nor do we know people knowing about it. Nobody knows about this Mahat Tattva. Where do we get this? Sankhya Smriti Prasiddhanam Itaresham Mahadaditattvanam Anupalabdescha Loke Vede Anupalabdescha Na Sankhya Smriti Apramanyam Dosha. So Sankhya Smriti Apramanyam. Sankhya Smriti will be left without scope, will not be Pramanam if you accept Upanishad as Pramanam. He says if you accept Sankhya Smriti as Pramanam, then other Smritis which except Brahman is Jagat Karanam will not be Pramanam. Therefore, Sankhya Smriti may as well be a Pramanam. Secondly, if you accept Sankhya Smriti as Pramanam, then you should accept everything that Sankhya says Pramanam. Mahat Tat Pradhanam, and then Mahat, and all of this. But this Pradhanam and Mahat, all of these we do not find anywhere in Vedas. Nor do we find people knowing about this. Altogether unknown entities. So there is no Pramanam about existence of Pradhanam, or no Pramanam about existence of Mahat, etc., other than the imagination of Sankhyas. Therefore, Sankhya, they simply imagine these things. Therefore, if they are prone of Pramanam, that is not a dosha. Second one. Then third. Next page. Etena yoga pratyukta. But the same line of argument. Etena. yoga pratyuktah. The yoga also is refuted because yogas only follow the philosophy of Sankhya. Etena Sankhya Smriti Pratyakhyanena. So by the refutation of Sankhya Smriti, Yoga Smriti Pratyakhyata Drashtavya. By the same arguments also, the Yoga Smriti also, as far as Yoga Darshanam is concerned, understand. So, Yoga, as far as Yoga is concerned, in terms of Ashtanga Yoga, the Vedanta has no problem. They say that, look, Yoga is found even in your Shvetashvatara Upanishad, your Kathopanishad, they talk about the Yoga. So you cannot say that Yoga is a Pramanam. So we say that, we do not say that Ashtanga Yoga is a Pramanam. It is useful to us. As far as Samadhanam, Chitta Ekagram is concerned, Yoga is definitely useful. But when Yoga mentions something about Mahat, etc., Yogas also don't talk, they talk about Mahat somewhere else as by the way. Yoga Shastra also doesn't talk about these tattvas. And therefore, so Yoga as a philosophy is also not Pramanam. Yoga as a sadhanam is okay. Yoga as philosophy is not Pramanam. So with that background now, we come to the fourth sutra on the page 354. So see, Nyaya Nirnaya says, Tadevam Veda Viruddhanam Smrutinam Apramanyat Na Tadvirodha Samanvayasyeti Samanvaya Virodhininam Smritinam Abhasatam Uktva. So other smrutis such as Sankhya, Yoga, etc., if they appear to contradict the Upanishads, then there is not that effect because they are not Pramanam. So Veda Viruddhanam, Smrutinam, Apramanyat, all these, they are called Smruti. What use this Smruti? By word Smruti we should understand Sankhya here, mainly. Veda Viruddhanam, Smrutinam, Apramanyat. Because the Smrutis which are contrary to Veda are not Pramanam. That is proven in the first three sutras. Na tadvirodha samanvayaseti. Therefore, samanvaya, that all the Upanishads have their purport in Brahma as Jagat Karanam, is not affected by what the Sankhyas and others say. Iti samanvaya virodhininam srutinam abhasatam uktva. Therefore, all those smrutis are not abhasa. They are a semblance of smruti, not pramanam. We call that a smruti which is based on Vedas. Shruti and Smruti. So if there is a contradiction between the Shruti and Smruti, then Smruti is dismissed. Shruti or Vedas are the primary pramanam. And we access Smruti also as pramanam as long as they are consistent with the Vedas. So Manusmruti can be called pramanam because what Manu says is consistent with what the Vedas say. But Sankhya Smruti cannot be accepted as pramanam because what the Sankhya say contradicts what the Vedas say. So even though Sankhyas appear to present a line of arguments which looks like logical, it is not a real logic, it is only semblance of logic, meaning tarka abhasa, not a real tarka, tarka abhasa, appearance or semblance of tarka. So, samanvaya virodhinam smritinam abhasatam uktva. This smruti suggests Sankhya which are opposed to samanvaya, that Brahman is Jagat Karanam, opposed to this conclusion that Brahman is Jagat Karanam because Sankhya's present Pradhanam is Jagat Karanam, so abhasatam, they have no ground really to prove their point. It is only by inference that they have arrived at this conclusion. And therefore, by a stronger inference, this conclusion can be dismissed simple, which is what the Vedantins do. Tad virodhinah न्यायस्य उक्त्वा तद्विरोधिनः न्यायस्य आभासतां विवक्षुः. So Smriti, and now we come to Tarka. So the view of the Smriti which contradicts the Upanishads is apramanam. Smritis are apramanam. But now how about Tarka? If by Tarka you can establish that Pradhanam is Gat Karanam, then maybe Upanishad also can be proven wrong. Meaning that, see, the point is, what the Upanishads say should not contradict the reasoning. This is one of the things. What the Upanishads say should not contradict reasoning. If what this Shastra says contradicts our reasoning, then we cannot accept it. So we do not arrive at the conclusion of Shastra by reasoning. The Sankhyas arrive at by reasoning. But for us, Upanishad is Pramanam. Therefore, that Brahman is Jagat Karanam is not arrived at by Tarka. Arrived at by Upanishad Pramanam. But it is not opposed to Tarka. So even though what the Upanishads reveal is not a product of Tarka, it is not opposed to Tarka also. Tarka means reasoning. So now the argument is, alright, the Smritis are not capable of dismissing what the Upanishads say. We say Tarka or the reasoning goes against what the Upanishads say. So there are certain rules of logic or reasoning, and according to that, what the Tarka says seems to contradict what the Upanishads say, and therefore Upanishad cannot be Pramanam. So Nyayasya Abhasatam Vivakshuhu. So now the Sutrakara wants to say that Tarka also is not a real reasoning, is semblance of reasoning only. Just as the Smritis were not real Smritis, similarly Tarka is not real Tarka, is only semblance of reasoning. Meaning there is a dosha or defect in line of reasoning which we'll point out. Sankhya Yoga Nyayasya Abhasatvartham Purvapakshayati. So Sankhya Yoga Nyayasya, the Nyaya, the reasoning presented by Sankhyas and therefore by Yoga also, the reasoning is not valid reasoning. It looks like reasoning. Sometimes people make arguments that appear to be so real that we so, and so to most people they will all appear to be real, right? But the people who are more perceptive will find the fault in that argument also. So to most people what the Sankhya says seem to make sense. But when you really analyze the reasoning of Sankhya, then we find that there is also defect in that line of reasoning, and therefore it is not acceptable reasoning. It appears to be right as long as you do not investigate further. And therefore now the Sutrakara wants to prove that the reasoning of Sankhya and Yoga also is not appropriate reasoning, not valid reasoning, only a semblance of reasoning, what looks like reasoning. Purvapakshayati. So, different ways of doing the Purvapakshayati. So, the Purvapaksha Sutra. The Sankhya is arguing against, Sankhya is in fact questioning the Samanvaya. So, in the earlier chapter, the conclusion was Brahman is Jagat Karanam. Brahman is the cause of creation. That's a teaching of the Upanishads. Sankhya is questioning that on the basis of Tarka or the reasoning, that it is not in keeping with reasoning that Brahman can be Jagat Karanam or cause of creation. So, read the sutra. Na vilakshanatvat asya तथात्वं च शब्दात्. Na is the pratigna. Na is samanvaya. So samanvaya is what is established. Na. So na meaning that Brahman is not the Jagat Karanam, na Jagat Chetana Prakritikam. Na means what? That Jagat is the Chetanam. Consciousness is not the cause of Jagat. See, this argument is going on from the time beginningless. Today also, what the scientists say is very much like what the Sankhya said. Sankhya said that the matter is the reality, the basic reality of the creation, pradhanam. That's what the scientists also say. Although Sankhya has accepted consciousness as an independent principle and matter as an independent principle, the scientists are only accepting matter as a principle and consciousness as the product of matter. This is what the science say. So science also is non-dual that way, except the matter is one non-dual truth according to them, and consciousness is the product of matter. And they say there's some chemical combination the brain creates the consciousness. We say that it is not consciousness that is created, it is sentiency that is created. Sentiency means life is created, but not consciousness. So they are confusing sentiency with consciousness. According to us, consciousness is the most fundamental principle which cannot be measured, which cannot be objectified. According to them, consciousness is also objectified. So there was a time when consciousness was not, and a time came when consciousness arose, when there was a combination of matter. When similar combination takes place in brain, then consciousness is created. When that stops and brain is gone, and this fellow is also gone. And the observation seems to suggest that. We say that consciousness is a principle which cannot be objectified, cannot be measured. It is the very truth of the one who is trying to measure. What is measured is not consciousness. The one who measures is consciousness, is truth. So this is where the science and the Vedas, they differ. But again, here also the Sankhya says, na jagat chetana prakritikam na. Na means what? That Brahman is not the cause of universe. Na. Why? Vilakshanatvat hetu. Asya. Asya means acetanasya jagataha. Of this creation that is evident, which is acetanam, which is insentient, the jagat, nama rupatmakam. Vilakshanatvat, chetana vilakshanatvat. It's owing to its dissimilarity, the lakshanam, the characteristics of Jagat and characters of Brahman are different. Jagat is insentient or unconscious, Brahman is consciousness in nature. So general rule is that the effect and material cause must have the same nature. The clay and the pot. So clay can be reasonably cause of the pot because clay has the same characteristics as the pot. But gold cannot be the cause of this clay pot because gold doesn't have the characteristics of the pot. So it is characteristics of the material cause which are inherited by the effect. So Jagat is the karyam, effect. And therefore Jagat must have inherited its characteristics from the material cause. If according to you Brahman is the material cause, then Brahman is consciousness, whereas Jagat is unconscious, inert. So both the cause, as you claim, and the effect have dissimilar characteristics, vilakshanatvam. Therefore, Brahman cannot be Jagat Karan. Now, from this way, they want to prove that what the Upanishads reveal is not right. So, na vilakshanatvat asya tathatvam. Tathatvam, so tathatvam cha shabdat. Na vilakshanatvat asya, one vakya. अस्य जगतः विलक्षणत्वात् न जगत चेतन प्रकृतिकम. Because this jagat has characteristics quite different from Brahman, therefore Brahman cannot be the cause of jagat. तथात्वं च शब्दात्, तथात्वं च वैलक्षण्यं च शब्दात्. And that jagat is vilakshanam. Jagat has dissimilar characteristics is what the Shabda, is what the Vedas or Upanishads also say. So, Vijnanam cha satyam cha nrutam cha satyam abhavat. So, this Jagat consists of Vijnanam and Avijnanam. Therefore, Avijnanam meaning what? Unconscious, is what the Upanishad also says. And so, Jagat is unconscious, Brahman is consciousness by nature, therefore, Brahman cannot be Jagat Karanam. This is the meaning of the sutra. If you go to the Vaiyasika Nyayamala, see the two verses are there. Vailakshanyakyatarkena bhadyate thana bhadyate बाध्यते साम्य नियमात् कार्य कारण वस्तुनोः मृद्घटादौ समत्वेपि दृष्टं वृश्चिक केशयोः स्वकारणेन वैषम्यं तर्काभासो न बाधकः. वैलक्षण्याख्य तर्केण बाध्यते अथ न बाध्यते. This Samanvaya means this purport the Upanishad that Brahman is Jagat Karanam, that conclusion Bhadyate. Is it contradicted by the reasoning or not? Vailakshanyakya tarkena, this tarka. What's the tarka? What's the reason? Achetanam Jagat Chetanad Brahmana na jayate vilakshanatvat. Achetanam Jagat. This Jagat is Achetanam, is inert or unconscious, therefore Brahmana na jayate. It cannot be born of Brahman, vilakshanatvat, because the Jagat has characteristics quite different from or dissimilar to those of Brahman. Yad yasmad vilakshanam tat tasman na jayate. So what is different in nature, the effect that is different in nature cannot be born of cause different in nature. Like a clay pot cannot be born of gold, so also insentient creation could not be born of Brahman, which is sentient or consciousness. Yatha goho mahishah, just as a buffalo cannot be born of a cow, because buffalo and cow have different characteristics. Only a cow can be born of cow, meaning a calf can be born of cow, not a buffalo. Na vilakshanatvat asya. This is the Purva Paksha. Subsequent sutra will say, Idi prapte bhrumah. So when this is the argument made by the Sankhya, then Vedantin says that this is what we have to say. Ye karya karane tete salakshane yasyaha vyapte. This vyapti. So the Purva said bhadyate samya nemat karya karana vastunoho samya nemat. The niyam is that karya vastu and karana vastu, they must have similarity. The effect must be similar, the cause must be similar to effect, That's a rule. And Brahman is not similar to Jagat, therefore it contradicts that rule. Therefore Brahman cannot be Jagat Karanam. Then we say that there is no such rule, that the effect and cause must have similar characteristics. The rule doesn't apply everywhere. We will show you exception to the rule. Mrudghatadu samatvepi. Your rule applies to Mrudghata. As far as a clay pot is concerned, certainly clay alone can be the cause of the clay pot. But Drushtam Vrishchika Keshayoho Svakaranena Vaishamyam. But we find that Vrishchika Keshayoho. Now, this is a questionable argument, but this is the argument. We find that a scorpion is born of cow dung. Scorpion emerges from cow dung. It is born of cow dung. Cow dung is inert and scorpion is conscious or sentient. So there is an exception here, that a sentient entity is born of inert thing. Other way around, that from human being, Keshalovani, the hair and the nails also, the hair and then also Naka, the nails, all of these are inert and they are born of the sentient human being. So in one case, from insentient cause, insentient cause, which is the cow dung, the sentient scorpion is born. In another case, from the sentient human being, insentient hair and nail are born. So the rule that there always should be consistency or similarity between material cause and effect is, there is an exception in this case, therefore that rule cannot apply everywhere. So ye karya karane tete salakshane asya vyapte vrishikado vyabhicharo drishyate. That the cause and effect must necessarily have similar characteristics. We find an exception to the rule in case of a scorpion, in case of the hair and the nails. Acetanat gomayat vrishikasya chetanasya utpatte. Because vrishika, who is a conscious being entity, is seen to be born of cow dung, which is unconscious. Chetanat purushat acetananam keshanakadinam utpadyamanatvat. And similarly, chetanat purushat, purusha, human being, who is a conscious being. Acetananam keshanakadinam, from him are born the kesha, the hair, nakha, the nail, which are unconscious. So the rule of the similarity between the material cause and effect has exception here, therefore that rule cannot be applied everywhere. Although generally is applicable, not necessarily in all, it does not cover all the cases. Ataha Veda Nirapeksha Shushka Tarka न क्वापि प्रतिष्ठति. So शुष्क तर्क है, this dry logic or reasoning, Veda nirapeksha है, which is independent of Veda, not based on Veda. So we accept tarka. Reasoning also is pramanam as long as the reasoning is in keeping with the Shruti. And so वाक्यार्थस्य विचार्यताम् श्रुतिशिरः पक्षः समाश्रियताम् दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यताम् श्रुतिमतस्तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयताम्. श्रुतिमतस्तर्कः, the tarka of the reasoning, श्रुतिमतः, which is accepted in keeping with what the Shruti says, is acceptable to us, but not just tarka, not just reasoning. Taduktam acharyaihi. Now, this is science, which is all tarka. Science is all based on inference. And about inference, acharyas have said, Yatnenanumitopyartha kushalairanumatrubhi abhiyuktatarairanyahi anyathaivo padyate. In science, we find that every so often the Siddhanta changes. In medical science in particular, they come with new things every 10 years, which is all right. Because that is the nature of reasoning. So says their Acharya, Yatnena kushalehi anumatrabihi yatnena anumitopi artha. The conclusion that is arrived at by very skilled or adept reasoning people, the people who are adept in reasoning, the conclusion that they have arrived at also can be anyathaiva upadyate, can be proven to be incorrect by abhiyukta tarehi, by the reasoning presented by more adept. So nobody is the final word as far as science is concerned or reasoning is concerned. Even Einstein also is not the last word. Nobody is the last word. And nobody will be last word also. Because that is the nature of Maya. Maya is sometimes means what? You cannot say it is this only and not that. So that there is no last word as far as the science is concerned only shows that the universe is mithya or it is the product of Maya. Had it been Satyam, you can arrive at the final conclusion. There cannot be finality of Tarka. There is a sutra here. The finality of reasoning cannot be there because reasoning which is advanced by one intelligent person can be proved otherwise by a more intelligent person. Even if the person is not more intelligent, in science, as more equipment is available to you for investigation. So as science advances, we have more advanced equipment for observation and investigation. Therefore, the earlier scientists did not have the advantage of those sophisticated tools which now the people have. Therefore, so sophisticated tool also is part of advanced reasoning, And so what they thought was the ultimate truth, now you find, hey, there are particles which are even subtler than that. So ultimately they are at God particle, which they think is the most fundamental. There is nothing beyond that. So what is God particle? The particle from which the universe is created. Who is God? God is the creator of the universe. If this particle is a fundamental particle from which the whole universe is created, then it's called God particle. Tasmat abhasatvat vilakshana hetu na badaka. This hetu, vilakshanatvat, that's the hetu. Because of dissimilar characteristics or dissimilarity, that hetu or the reasoning cannot be adequate for proving Upanishads apramanam, because abhasatvat, the reasoning also is a semblance of reasoning and does not cover all the cases. That vyapti must be universal. Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi. That is called vyapti. And if there is no exception to the rule that wherever smoke is, fire must be there, find an exception, that rule is broken. So far, we have not found any exception to that rule, let us say. But anyway, so this is the discussion in this particular adhikaranam, So now we can go to Bhashya. If you look at Ratnaprabha, Shrutinam apramanyat tabihi samanvayasya na virodaheti siddhantah. Siddhanta arrived at in the previous chapter. In fact, this Vakya belongs to previous chapter. It is somehow printed here. So anyway, Shrutinam apramanyat. You can accept it here also that Shrutis are proven to be not pramanam because they are not based on Vedas. Therefore, they are not pramanam. Or all those Shrutis not based on Vedas are not pramanam. Tabihi samanvayasya na virodha. Therefore, their conclusions do not have the power to dismiss the opinion, dismiss the vision of the Upanishads. It is Siddhanta Lakshanatvat. Now that doesn't, so what a Vrittanuvadena Asya Adhikaranasya Tatparyamaha. Bhashyakara first tells us Tatparya of this Adhikaranam. Purport of the whole section here, whole topic, by Vrittanuvada, by reiterating what has gone by in the previous chapter. Or if you look at Anandagiri, Chetanad Brahmana Jagadutpattim Bruvan Samanvayo Vishaya. So what's the Vishaya of this particular Adhikaranam? And of all the Adhikaranas here is Chetanad Brahmana Jagat Utpattim Bruvan Samanvaya. Samanvaya. The Tatpa, the purport says Chetanat Brahmana Jagad Utpattihi. The universe is created from Brahman, that is consciousness. This is a big thing. That the universe is a product of consciousness, not product of matter. Matter is produced from consciousness. This is consciousness is produced from matter. We say that matter is the manifestation of consciousness. Very fundamental difference. And you are consciousness. That's the thing. You are Jagat Karanam. That's Tattvamasi. What is Tat? Tat is Jagat Karanam. So that which is the cause of creation, which is the material cause of creation, which is essence of the whole universe, self of the whole universe is you. So consciousness is the essence of the self of the whole universe, and that is you. So this view, so this is Samanvaya, is Vishesh. This is questioned by, in every topic, every Adhikaranam, this Samanvaya will be questioned. That Brahman is Jagat Karanam, that will be questioned again and again. Sahakim Akashadi na Chetana Prakritikam Dravyatvat Ghatadivadati Sankhya Yoga Jnana Viruddhyatena va. Saha Samanvaya, that's Samanvaya. Kim Virudhyate. Is it contradicted by reason or not? Akashadi na Chetana Prakritikam. So this is the reasoning. Akashadi, the universe, beginning of space, etc., is not Chetana Prakritikam, doesn't have the Chetanam, consciousness, material cause. Dravyatvat, Ghatadivat, because space, etc., are all substances like a pot, and pot is created from clay, which is unconscious. Therefore, similarly, space, etc., the whole universe unconscious, therefore, could not be created from Brahman, which is consciousness. Iti Sankhya Yoga Nyaya. So, the whole Sankhya system is based on this. The reason why the Sankhya is all inference. Sankhya's arrived at this conclusion that Pradhanam or primordial matter is the Jagat Karanam is based on this reasoning. That the material cause must have characteristics similar to the effect. And Jagat is Achetanam, unconscious. Therefore, the material cause of Jagat also must be unconscious. Therefore, they come with Pradhanam. Not only unconscious, but must have characteristics similar to Jagat. And Jagat is made up of the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Therefore, the material cause also must be made up of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. That's how they arrived at their whole philosophy. So now, that the reasoning with which they arrived at that conclusion. Now, because Sankhya Smriti, since it is not based on Veda, there is not Pramanam. But Sankhya is reasoning. Sankhya is reasoning, this reasoning, that the effect and cause must have similar characteristics. Based on that reasoning, they arrived at the conclusion that Pradhanam is Jagat Karanam. Does that reasoning contradict our conclusion that Brahman is Jagat Karanam or not? Virudhyate navaiti tad anabhasatva abhasatvabhyam sandehe. Whether that reasoning, that tarka is anabhasa, is genuine, or abhasa is a semblance of tarka. Whether that tarka is right or wrong. That causes sandeha. There's a doubt whether this reasoning is valid or not valid. पूर्वाधिकरणेन उत्तराधिकरण संदर्भस्य संगतिमाह. So पूर्वाधिकरणम is samanvaya, उत्तराधिकरणम samanvaya is question, or पूर्वाधिकरण is smriti. Sorry, पूर्वाधिकरण is the smriti. This adhikarana is tarka. So now sangati or the connection is being told here. Brahma is Bhashyakara says Brahma asya jagatah nimitta karanam prakritischa iti asya pakshasya akshepah smriti nimittah parihritah. This is Vrittanuvada. This was what was concluded in the previous Adhikaranam that we just read. Those sutras, first sutras we just read, where Etena was first Sankhya and then Yoga. So Brahma asya jagatah nimitta karanam prakritischa. This is what the Upanishads say, that Brahman is the efficient cause, nimitta karanam, prakritischa, and the upadana karanam. Prakriti means material cause. That Brahman is both the efficient as well as material cause, which is the view of the Upanishad. The akshepah. So pakshasya akshepah. The Sankhyas questioned this view of the Upanishads, and Sankhya's view was refuted. So akshepah smriti nimitta parihrutah. And so based on the smriti, namely Sankhya and the Yoga, the conclusion of Upanishad was questioned, and that was refuted in the earlier Adhikaranam. Then continuing, tarka nimittah idanim akshepah parihriyate. Idanim. Now in this adhikaranam, this topic, what are we doing? Tarka nimitta akshepah parihriyate. This adhikarana is meant for refuting the opposition which the tarka seems to bring about. The reasoning seems to bring about the opposition to this conclusion or this view, and that opposition of tarka also is now to be refuted. So what the Upanishad says should not be contradicted by anything, not by any other pramanam, not by perception, not by inference. Truth must be consistent. Truth cannot be contradicted by anything. So the perception says there is duality. So does perception contradict what the Upanishad says there is non-duality? No, that is to be proven. That perception also does not contradict what the Upanishads say, because perception has a scope and Upanishad scope is different. Perception has scope only with reference to those things that are revealed by the sense organs and the mind, whereas the Upanishad has the scope with reference to that which reveals the mind and sense organs. Therefore, their scope is different. That being the case, what the perception says cannot be used to prove or to contradict what the Upanishads say. Or how about tarka? If tarka is a valid tarka, reasoning, then it's all right. But what appears to be valid reasoning is not valid. Therefore, we have to show how the reasoning also is defective. So therefore, tarka nimittah akshepah idanim parihriyate. Now is refuted or removed the akshepa, the questioning based on tarka or reasoning. So this is Purva Paksha. So Purva Paksham akshepati, Purva Paksha is question. So Siddhanti questions the Purva Paksha. Kutaha punha iti. So next sentence is कुतः पुनः अस्मिन् अवधारिते आगमार्थे तर्कनिमित्तस्य आक्षेपस्य अवकाशः Kuta Puna, where do you get this avakasha? Where is the scope? That something called Tarka can question what Upanishad says. Asmin avadharite agamartha. Agamartha, the subject matter or the conclusion of the Agama, conclusion of the Vedas. Avadharite, with all the reasoning now, we have ascertained what the Upanishads say, namely Brahman is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. This is what the Upanishad says. That meaning is ascertained. To the meaning that is ascertained, Tarka Nimittasya Akshepasya Avakasha. How can Tarka, how can reasoning question what the Upanishad says? Where is the scope for Tarka? That you are presenting Tarka or the reasoning as questioning what the Upanishad say. Anavakasha Hitumaha. So, meaning that we say that the Tarka has no scope with reference to what the Upanishads reveal. Upanishad has one subject matter, Tarka has a different subject matter. Look at Nyaya Nirnaya. Brahmana manantara vishayatvena atarkyatvena. Brahman is the subject matter of Upanishad, which is one pramanam. Tarka is another pramanam. Therefore, atarkyatvena, as we said, that Brahman is Jagat Karanam, that Brahman is the material as well as efficient cause, is not arrived at by reasoning, is only revealed by Upanishad. So, atarkyena. So, Brahmana atarkyatvena. Brahman is not the subject matter of Tarka. Atarkyatvena cha anapekshāmnāya ekagamyatvād. So, manantara vishayatvena atarkyatvena cha. Or manantara avishayatvena atarkyatvena cha. Brahman is not the subject matter of pramanam other than Upanishad, and also is not to be arrived at by Tarka. Because of these two reasons. Anapeksha amnaya ekagamyatvād. So Brahman can only be known from amnaya, from the Vedas. And so Veda is only pramanam from Brahma. There is no pramana means of knowledge for revealing nature of Brahman other than Vedas. So amnaya ekagamyatvād. Tarka agamayoho atulyarthatvena avirodhat. Therefore, there is no tulyata, there is no equality between Tarka and Veda. Tarka has no scope where the Veda has. So Veda has a scope where Tarka stops, and that's why the Veda has a scope. So Brahman is only revealed by Vedas and is beyond Tarka. There is no Virodha. How can you use then Tarka as Virodha, means a contradicting what the Upanishad says? Agamarthe Tarka nimitta akshepasya nirvakashata. Therefore, with reference to conclusion or the view or the vision of the Vedas, that cannot be questioned by reasoning. Tarka has no scope as far as of a questioning the view or the vision of the Upanishads. Then says, Nanu Tarka Upakarana iti kartavyatayaha Vedanta mimamsayaha Tarka Upakaranatma Uktam Prathama Sutre. Now you see, Vedanta also accepts Tarka as a helpful thing. We say that, so Shrutimatas Tarko Anusandhiyatam, the Tarka or the reasoning in keeping with the view of the Shruti is acceptable to us. So you already accepted the Tarka in the first sutra. Tathaja Tarkasya Vedantehi Tulyarthatvam Ishtam. So Vedanta also requires Tarka to ascertain the meaning. The point is what the Upanishads reveals. that Brahman is the Jagat Karanam, to arrive at that understanding also we require Tarka. The thing is, to understand what the Upanishads say, we do require Tarka. So without Tarka you cannot understand what the Upanishads say. Therefore we say that Tarka and Upanishad are of the same importance, same degree of importance. Therefore, Tarkasya Vedantai Tulyarthatvam Ishtam. Therefore, Tarka also must be accepted as equal to Vedanta. Karana Upakaranayo Ekarthatva Avagamat. Because Tarka also establishes what the Upanishad says. Because we said that we require Tarka to understand what the Upanishad says. The whole first chapter provided different logic to establish that Upanishads talk about Brahma. So all along Tarka has been used. So it looks as though Tarka and the Upanishad have the same importance. Therefore Tarka can be used to question what the Upanishad says. Tatra. If that is so, then next sentence is Nanu Dharme Iva Brahmani Api Anapekshaha Agamaha Bhavitum Arhate. Again the Vedantin says Nanu Dharme Iva, just as when it comes to Dharma. Dharma means what? Basically the rituals which are prescribed by Vedas. Like Agnihotra, Jyotishtoma says Swargakamo, Jyotishtomena, Swargakamo Yajeta. The one who is desire of Swarga should perform Jyotishtoma Yaga. Now this you should accept. No reasoning applies here. This is accept on the word. This is purely Shraddha. So, if Dharma is accepted, if Tarka cannot contradict Dharma, which is subject matter of Vedas, then Brahman also is subject matter of Veda. So, rule that applies to Dharma should apply to Brahma also. Meaning that Brahman also cannot be questioned by Tarka. If Dharma is not questioned by Tarka, or not questionable by Tarka, Brahma also should not be questionable by Tarka. So, Nanu, is it not? So, Nanu here means not objection. Is it not? That Dharma eva Brahmani api anapeksha agama bhavitum arhati. If agama or Veda is anapeksha, which has no need for Tarka etc. as far as the agama, as the Dharma is concerned, should not agama be also independent of the need for Tarka when it comes to Brahman? Because Dharma also is subject matter of Veda, Brahma also is subject matter of Veda, therefore what applies to Dharma should also apply to Brahma. Says Nyayadena, Shakti Tatparya Avadharane Param Tarkasya Upakaranatvam Nadu Tasya Brahma Vishayata. See, Tarka or the reasoning has a scope in arriving at what the meaning of the Upanishad says. But not, Tarka doesn't have scope with reference to Brahman. Naisha Tarkenidi Shrutehi Ityartaha. This is what we say. Therefore, that Tarka has no scope with reference to Brahman. Because Upanishad says, Naisha Tarkena Matihi Apaneya, Esha Matihi Tarkena Apaneya. This knowledge cannot be arrived at a Tarka. To that, those people say, wait. Siddhasya Brahmana Sadhyat Dharmat Vailakshanyena Adhyakshadi Vishatva Sambhavat Targamyatva Sambhavati. He says, no, Dharma. So now, you see, understand this. We said that Dharma and Brahma, these are the two subject matters of Veda. So the rule that applies to Dharma also should apply to Brahma. What's the rule? That Tarka has no scope as far as Dharma is concerned, because whether by Jyotishtama you get Swarga or not cannot be proved or disproved by Tarka. So Tarka has no scope with reference to Dharma. Therefore, Tarka should not have scope with reference to Brahman. Says no, Brahman and Dharma are different entities. Siddhasya Brahmana Sadhyat Dharmat Vailakshanyena. Brahman is Siddha Vishaya, Dharma is Sadhya Vishaya. See, what is Dharma? Swarga is Dharma. So, Swarga is something accomplished. So, with reference to Swarga, what the Vedas reveal is Sadhya Sadhana Sambandha. So, Swarga is something to accomplish. Dharma means Jyotishtama also is something to be done, to be accomplished. It is not already an existing entity, where Brahman is already an existing entity. So, one is Siddha Vishaya, meaning what is already existing, and Sadhya Vishaya, that which has to be achieved. So, Dharma is to be achieved, is apraptasya praptihi, Brahma is praptasya praptihi, praptam, one is apraptam. Therefore, even though they are the subject matter of Veda, they are not similar. One is aprapta, other is prapta. Therefore, the rule that applies to Dharma, aprapta, cannot apply to Brahman, which is praptam or siddham. Here the words are siddham and sadhyam. Adhyakshadi Vishayatva Sambhavat. As far as an entity, already existing entity is concerned, Vedas are not the ultimate pramanam. Other pramanas also have a scope. See, for example, Vedas talk about the wheat, the barley and rice and stuff like that. Vedas talk about many things. Vedas not only talk about Swarga and Jyotishtama, they talk about barley, they talk about curd. So they mention curd is to be offered, milk is to be offered, barley and paddy must be offered. So these are already existing entities. So you can't say that because Vedas talk about the rice, therefore rice exists. No. Rice is an existing entity which can be known by perception, inference also. So as far as existing entities are concerned, they are available for other means of knowledge also. So when Vedas, for example, talk about some Banaras, suppose some place, Puranas talk about Vedas, they tell us different stories. Suppose they talk about the Himalayas, and this is what happened. Suppose they tell you some story, some itihasa. Then Himalaya is an existing entity. Therefore, not only existence of Himalaya is proved from Vedas, it is proved by perception, etc. also. So, Sankhya say that an existing entity, for that you should not say that Veda is only pramanam, perception and others also, inference also have scope with reference to existing entities. The perception and inference etc. do not have scope with reference to dharma, which is not an existence, which is something to be achieved. But perception and other means of knowledge have scope with reference to any existing entity, and Brahman also is a pre-existing entity. Therefore, it should also be available for perception, inference, etc. Tarka gamyatva sambhavati. Therefore, tarka should have, so Brahman also should come within the scope of tarka or reasoning also. Even though dharma does not, Brahman should. Atah tulya vishayatvad agamarthe bhi tarka nimitta akshepasya avakasha asti. Therefore, tarka and agama, both of them are pramanam for existing entity, So like for wheat, for Himalaya, if Veda is pramanam, then perception also is pramanam. Then both of them have the same strength, prabalyam. So here also, Brahman being a pre-existing entity, the tarka and Veda must have an equal strength. Therefore, one can question the other. Unequal cannot question. Unequal thing cannot question that, because meaning that what a PhD scientist says can't be questioned by a high school fellow, because high school has only limited knowledge. But if one PhD can question another PhD, similarly, tarka also is pramanam for pre-existing entity. Agama also is pramanam, therefore both of them have the same category, same strength. Therefore, tarka can question agama. Our question was, How can you present Tarka as questioning what the Upanishad says? He says, no, Upanishad talk about pre-existing entity. Tarka also has scope in pre-existing entities. Therefore, Tarka is on the same standing as the Upanishads. Therefore, Tarka can question the view of the Upanishads. So that is how the argument goes. We'll continue in the next class. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ